Hello everyone and welcome to the Clean Bowl podcast with breaking news, a breaking news video here with me, Sab. I wanted to do a review of the first test for England and New Zealand, yet here I am doing something completely different because do not adjust your headsets. We are not stuck in 2025, it's not the Ashes. ECB are investigating a nightclub incident. Yes, this is something that they are doing because the governing body are looking into a breach of team protocols. They're investigating a nightclub incident involving two England players who were spotted in a nightclub in the early hours of Monday after they beat New Zealand in the first test. The two players in question, Gus Atkinson and England captain Ben Stokes. Yes, you heard that correctly. Gus Atkinson and England captain Ben Stokes. They've launched an investigation into a breach of team protocols. Stokes and Atkinson were involved in an unspecified incident, whatever that means, in a London nightclub in the early hours of Monday morning. So, obviously, that happened just after they beat New Zealand in the first test. Stokes was saying he was very happy. Obviously, they would be. This comes after 5 months after they were humiliated in Australia, where, look, that trip had a load of nightclub incidents and drinking incidents and whatnot. So the fact that this has happened again is pretty shocking, nonetheless, considering the ECB have put in new protocols. And the fact that it's the captain who's involved in this breach is genuinely staggering. This is just crazy. This is what the ECB have said. So I'm just going to read it out. The ECB are currently investigating a breach of team protocols following the conclusion of the first men's test against New Zealand. Ben Stokes and Gus Atkinson were present at a nightclub in the early hours of Monday morning when an incident took place. We are currently seeking further information, and an announcement regarding the squad for the second test will be made in due course. The cricket regulator has been informed and will provide a further update when possible. So that's the statement. When the whole Harry Brook incident happened, the team promised to change the way they operated. There was a protocols put in place, which has obviously been breached here, and there was a kind of perceived drinking culture within the group. Clearly, there is. Now, look. We're not expecting them to be saints or monks or anything like that. Obviously, it's sort of tradition. You have a little beer after the game, and obviously they've put on a lot of effort, and they've, after a tough 5 months that they had, after the tough period they had, waiting 5 months for another test, they've a big win. I will say, not a very good game of cricket. The pitch was the man of the match, in my opinion. But look, a win is a win nonetheless, a big win. And, they have every right to, let their hair down, have a beer, celebrate, and then move on to the next game. I just don't understand how your captain can be behaving like this. It is shocking for any England player to be doing this is bad, but for your captain to be doing this is so bad. Like, he's meant to be the leader of the team, setting the example. I really thought Ben Stokes was kind of setting the example. That's what we were hearing in Australia, that he was really trying to get the players to be more like him, like going for runs, not drinking, not going out. He was trying to set the standards, and the players weren't kind of playing along. I did read that with Ben Stokes, because of his injury problems, he'd kind of quit drinking and was really focusing on his sort of health and priorities, obviously. And I know he's had a tough time with everything in the Ashes. He had surgery on his face because he got hit by a ball. There's no excuse. There is absolutely no excuse, and I have no sympathy for Ben Stokes and Gus Atkinson. They're going to get disciplined pretty severely. There's a suggestion in that statement, I think, that they probably missed the second test. But what does this say for Ben Stokes' captaincy? What happens here for him? That's what I want to know. It really is worrying, and I think even the BBC, they've come out and said that Stokes' position could be in doubt. This is what they've said. After everything that happened in the winter, this is a staggering development. One could have long-reaching ramifications. I agree. Look, if this was a very serious incident, that will be the end of his captaincy. But again, it doesn't really matter. Why are they in a nightclub after one win? It's not like they'd won the series. I could understand it then. If you just won an Ashes 3-2 or something, or you just beaten India at home or away, whatever, I could understand if it's a series win a little bit. I'd give them some leniency then. It's just game one of the first series. You just had a humiliating series in Australia. This is meant to be a new regime with new standards, better culture, all of these buzzwords that they've been throwing out. The first opportunity to show us that they're a changed team, and the captain is out in a nightclub in the early hours to win. I'm not even an England fan, and I'm annoyed. So I can't imagine how England fans are feeling after reading this when it's your captain. If the captain's behaving like this, nobody's got a hope in hell. Because even a small offence cast huge doubts on his cast. Because there's already huge marks about his batting. We are going to do a video analysing where he is with his batting. His decline in his batting has been pretty staggering. But he is one of England's bowlers. So it's all a little bit up in the air now. So this is going to be different. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with this, about what the actual incident was, what happened, and where we go from here will be remains to see. I think Ben Stokes has some credit in the bank in terms of his captaincy, his on-field behaviour, and the standards he set, but this is not going to help. So yeah, I don't know. If I was Ben Stokes and if I was a fan of Ben Stokes or a fan of the England cricket team, this would be something to worry about. So look, this is all we know at the moment. Let's see where we go. But the reputation of England cricket was already at a low point prior to this incident, prior to what happened in the Ashes. I don't think much has changed because of the win against New Zealand. As I said, the pitch was diabolical. England are not that good with the ball, and New Zealand are not that bad with the bat. You may not like me saying that. That is just the truth. Or certainly that's how I see it, and I don't think that I'm wrong in that. But the pitch had a huge part to play in this game. Either way, a win is a win, a big win. Enjoy that, but then get ready for the next game because, there's still a series to play for. So this is just a stupid thing to do. And if they get punished harshly, they absolutely deserve it. So, yeah. Strange one, but let's see what happens next. So comment in the section below, guys, what your thoughts are. How are you feeling, England fans? What do we think of this? What happens next? What next for Ben Stokes? What next for the England cricket team? I want to hear all your thoughts about this. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you give it a share. And make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. We will be doing a proper review of the first test within the next couple of days. And then, we'll be obviously commenting on this story. I feel like a proper journalist. We'll be commenting on this story as it goes out. But yeah, that's all from me. As soon as we hear anything more and there's more developments, obviously I will post a video as soon as I can. But yeah, I've been Sab. This has been the Clean Bowl Podcast. England are stupid and they're shooting themselves in the foot for no reason. We'll see you next time.